Hey everyone, today we're finally going to be taking a look at the ULA Dragonfly backpack. This is the 30-liter edition in Ultra, and this has been one of the most requested bags on the channel. Lots of excitement and hype around this one. Very popular in the one bag travel community. Thank you to everybody who's shouted this out and gotten it on my radar. I also appreciate the heads up on the restocks, as this is not an easy bag to get. So I was excited when I saw that one was available after somebody gave me a heads up, went ahead and bought it, and I've now finally had a chance to get hands-on with it. And in this video, I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts of what it's been like to use it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the bag definitely has a more outdoorsy and technical vibe than many of the modern kind of techie travel bags that I tend to feature on the channel. It's got the bungee cord on the exterior, compression straps, pockets. It almost feels like kind of a North Face or Osprey bag in my opinion. And this can work well, particularly since this does seem to be intended to also work as a hiking backpack. I think that this, sort of aesthetic is going to be a good fit for that, but it's also not so overwhelmingly technical that it would be uncomfortable to use it for traveling or exploring a city. I think that this is a fairly subdued look, which I think is going to blend in well. If you are traveling, it doesn't look like something that's necessarily going to call a ton of attention to itself, which can be a really nice feature to have. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This version uses Challenge Sailcloth's Ultra 400 fabric, which I've now tried on a couple of different bags, and so far I've been really impressed. It's a fabric that has a lot of hype because of the properties that it offers. It's meant to be very lightweight while still being super strong and highly weather resistant, which are all things that are very helpful with a bag like this, which might be your one bag that you're traveling with. If you're going on a stricter airline, being able to save on the weight is a very big concern for many people. And so this one is super impressive, coming in at under 2 pounds, which is great for a bag of this size and with the feature set that it offers, while still providing enough durability while you're on the road. And then the weather resistance with Ultra fabric has been fantastic so far, and that continues here. And then beyond that, you have some really nice aqua guarded YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have 2 external water bottle pockets, one on each side. I really like the implementation here. They offer plenty of space even for a larger water bottle, so my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler is able to fit in there comfortably even when the bag is a little bit more packed out. Because they use a mesh here that has 4-way stretch, the compartments will expand outwards, and then, it wasn't too hard to get this in and out. You might be able to squeeze something slightly bigger, but it'll start to really feel a little tighter. But so far with the 26-ounce, it's very comfortable. And then because of the elasticity here, it pulls the compartments close to the bag when they're not in use to maintain a cleaner look. And then above the compartments, you have compression straps. So that will be great if you want to pair this with like a tripod. You'll be able to support it here. You can also use it to compress the bag down when it's not quite as full, or just keep everything in place. And then along the front of the bag, you also have this nice bungee cord that's going to be a great spot to secure a tripod, a jacket, maybe a yoga mat, anything that doesn't fit inside of the bag. Always great to have this extra bit of flexibility when you're carrying, those larger items. And on the front, you also have a little Velcro area that you can customize with any patch that you want to. It includes a ULA patch. It's blacked out, so it blends in there nicely, but you can customize it if you prefer. And then at the top of the bag, you have a really nice carrying handle. I like how much this comes out to make it very easy to grab the bag when you need to. It also has this kind of nice seatbelt-like cushioned material that is going to provide some comfort even when the bag is a little more loaded out. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is whether the bag stands up well on its own. And I would say this is pretty inconsistent just because of the slanted shape of the bottom. Now, because of the Ultra fabric, and I don't know if this is the case for other editions of this bag, it can stand up if the weight is distributed properly, because Ultra maintains its structure pretty well. And so, if I'm careful when I'm placing it down, I have been able to, kind of use the compartments as I need to, the laptop and the quick access area that we'll take a look at later, but your mileage may vary depending on the version and how you're loading the bag out. Moving into the capacity, the version that I have here comes in at about 30 liters, which is a really versatile, minimal travel bag size in my opinion. Might feel a little bit large for everyday carry for a lot of people, but it's still something that I would be comfortable using, particularly if this is the only bag that I was traveling with. It doesn't look overwhelmingly bulky, even when it's a little bit more packed out, but it can still hold an impressive amount, as much as other 30-liter bags that I've used. And then because of that silhouette, it's something that I would be comfortable carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines, as well as using it for walking around the city and jumping onto public transit. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been surprisingly comfortable to wear. I was worried that there would be some trade-offs here to keep the weight of the bag down, but so far this padding has felt really nice. Cushioned on the inside, you have a good breathable mesh to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps also have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. Beyond that, you have a couple of attachment points here on the strap, as well as an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. No load lifters here, which I actually prefer, so I was happy to see that. And then at the bottom, you have a couple of attachment points that you can pair with a waist belt that the company sells separately. It's not included with the bag, but not something that I would tend to use for a bag of this size, especially with the weight that it comes in at. And then taking a look at the back panel, this has also felt really comfortable. Same style of padding that we saw on the straps, well distributed throughout the back. It has the mesh to provide that breathability, and then I like that there's this elevation here to create these air channels to provide you with some airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. So even as I've been wearing this and it's loaded out, so far it's been really comfortable to wear. The one thing that might have been nice to have here is some sort of a luggage pass-through, even though this is a slightly larger bag. I could see some people pairing this with another carry-on bag, so it would be nice to have some way to rest this on a suitcase while you're traveling. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things fairly minimal, but the pockets that it includes are very, very useful. Starting off on the front, you have a zippered quick access pocket that's a little bit taller. It goes down pretty much to the bottom of the bag, so it'll be great for pouches, jackets. It has some elasticity because of this mesh material here, so it's gonna be able to adapt to a lot of the types of items that you might store in here. At the moment I have my iPad mini just to kind of showcase the size, but great for like an Evergood Civic Access pouch 1 liter, or many other types of items. And then at the top you have a really nice quick access pocket as well, very well protected zippers, and a great amount of volume here. So this is the type of pocket that I always like when it's simple and open like this, so you can just toss in bulkier accessories like sunglasses. I like to have a hard shell case with mine, so that fits in there comfortably. This is able to hold my GoPro, and then I also have a charger for my tablet, my phone. I have my Apple AirPods, and then this compartment also includes a little lanyard with a carabiner to attach your keys or some sort of multi-tool. In my case, I have a flashlight here at the moment. And then on the back of the bag, you have a dedicated laptop compartment, which is always really nice on a travel bag so that you can get your device in and out quickly while you're going through security. And so the implementation here is pretty good. You have some padding on the back, and I like that this is properly suspended off the bottom of the ground. So if I drop my laptop in there, it doesn't feel like it's making any contact with the ground. So you have that extra peace of mind. This should be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop. Currently what I have here is my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's some leftover space here at the top. So pulling my device out. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. This does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker laptop, it should be able to fit in there pretty comfortably. Even though this is a dedicated compartment, if you really load the main area out, you'll probably start to feel it getting a little bit tight if you do want to use a thicker laptop with this. And then there's no fleece lining on the inside, as this is meant to double as a hydration bladder area. But with the padding that's included here and the fact that it's suspended off the bottom of the ground, it definitely feels like my device is going to be well protected while I'm on the go. The last area that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment. This has kind of a front-loading clamshell style. Before jumping into that, one thing I wanted to mention is that you don't have the ability to lock the zippers in the traditional sense. It doesn't have those little loops. For a cable lock, you can use the zipper pulls if you want to secure it with a lock, but just something I wanted to mention since this is a travel bag. And so you have the well-protected zippers that go all the way down, and then a nice wide opening to make it very easy to see your stuff and to organize the bag. Always my preferred layout for a travel bag in particular. And 30 liters of space here, even though it doesn't sound like a huge bag, I was actually really impressed with how much this was able to hold. It has my typical one bag travel setup, and even a little bit more than sometimes I might take or would expect to be able to fit with a bag of this size. So diving in at the top, I have my packable rain jacket. Could also be, one of my puffy jackets for colder weather. And then I have a DOP kit. I have my Toms, which is my backup pair of shoes typically. And then here you have a couple of compression straps to help just tighten everything down and prevent it from shifting. I have a packing cube set up here so I can release the compression straps, and I was able to fit both of my Peak Design packing cubes. So I have the smaller compressible one, and then I have the larger compressible one on the bottom as well. So really impressed that I was able to fit both of those into this main area very comfortably. And now with this compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Really simple layout here. Besides the compression straps, no other organization on the back, which I think works well. I don't normally use that, so I'm glad that they kind of kept it simple. That probably helps with the weight. You can see that there's a light lining on the sides. On the back, you can get a sense of the laptop sleeve. You can see this false bottom here. That's what keeps your device protected. So, really nice layout here. It's something that you can also get away with for if you want to use this as a hiking bag or as an everyday bag, even though it's a little bit big. I think that it can still work. And then on the lid for this main compartment, you have a couple of additional zippered mesh pockets, which I didn't end up using this one on the bottom, but still a nice amount of space for toiletries, tech items. You can see into this compartment. It's not super elastic, so it's not gonna expand to the items that you put in it, but it has enough built-in volume. And then you have an additional one on top of that. This one's a little bit taller and same sort of material, same mesh. You can see on the inside, but it is a black or darker background here. It's that, kind of black material with the black items that I'm carrying. It's not as easy to see what's on the inside, but that's more on me for my black pouch and an accessory here. So I have the Ghostwell pouch from Tom Bin with some tech and EDC items, as well as a nail clipper set. Both of those fit in there comfortably. It expands towards the top. So, nice, simple, but effective layout in this main area and throughout the rest of the bag. It's been great to use as a travel bag. I mean, there was a lot of hype going into this bag. I had been asked about it so many times. People had told me it was their favorite minimal kind of one bag travel option. And so, I was very excited as I dove into this review. And overall, I think that it lived up to the hype. I was very impressed with how much it could hold, the materials, and checked off most of the boxes for what I would be looking for out of a bag like this. And if you're on the ball as far as keeping an eye on the site and you're looking for a really lightweight but capable one bag travel option, this is definitely going to be one of the best options that you can check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience to finally have been able to test out the ULA Dragonfly backpack. You can purchase this on the company's site. The price, I believe, is going to vary a little bit depending on the size and the material that you get. The version that I have here, the 30-liter in Ultra, came in at around $290 to $300. So, definitely a premium priced bag. In the travel backpack world, this is starting to become a little bit more of a common price point. So, this is a really solidly built bag, nice feature set, feels like something that's going to hold up, and it's going to compare well to some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Patagonia Mini MLC, which has been one of my favorite minimal travel bags for a while now. Comes in at around 30 liters, so a similar size to this. It can hold an impressive amount, but it doesn't look overwhelmingly big. I've used that as a personal item on a number of flights. I like that it doesn't have a really rigid structure, so it just kind of molds around everything that's on the inside. And it's got a very functional layout that doesn't go overboard with the pocketing. So it's got a quick access area, a dedicated laptop and tech section, which works well. It's got a comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through. It's got a removable waist belt that can also work as a shoulder strap. If you want to wear it that way, you can tuck the straps away. So, really flexible, versatile layout. And then you have the clamshell style opening so you can pack everything in there. So just a really great kind of all-purpose bag. It also comes in at a little bit of a lower price point than this. So if you're looking for something, really useful in this size range, that's going to be one of the best options to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Osprey Expandable Daylight 26+6 backpack. I recently looked at the updated version of that on the channel and was really impressed with the versatility of that bag. At 26 liters, when it's compressed down, it actually works very well as a personal item on a number of domestic and international airlines. And then it has the ability to expand out to about 32 liters, so it'll be a pretty standard carry-on size. It'll still fit into an overhead storage compartment. Beyond that, it's got a comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, a pretty functional layout. It doesn't go overboard with the pocketing, but it does, have a well-padded suspended laptop sleeve. It's got quick access area, so it's just a very, very useful bag. And on top of that, it's also, like this one, a pretty lightweight bag considering all the functionality that it includes, and it's also gonna come in at $100. So if you're looking for something with this level of versatility at a more affordable price point, that's gonna be one of the best options that you can take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Matador Seg 28, which has one of the most unique layouts of any travel bag that I've used. I absolutely love the segmented compartments that has. It includes basically built-in packing cubes, so very easy to organize all of your stuff. It also opens up fully clamshell or duffel style, so you have this large area that allows you to pack everything in. The layout is super flexible, and the bag itself is also very flexible. It doesn't have a rigid structure, so everything just kind of molds around it. At 28 liters, it can hold an impressive amount, but still work quite well as a carry-on, as a personal item on many flights. It has a dedicated laptop compartment, comfortable harness system, so checking off a lot of the same boxes as this one here. It also has a pretty outdoorsy and functional vibe. It's got some compression straps, so it's not a super minimal bag, kind of like this one, but if you're somebody who likes a lot of organization for your stuff, to be able to easily find everything, or you just don't really want to deal with separate packing cubes and you'd rather have everything incorporated into the bag, and you also want something with a lot of weather resistance, and that's going to be an excellent option to check out. With that being said, the ULA Dragonfly holds up really well against all those options, and I can definitely see why this has become so popular in the one bag travel community. In addition to the lighter weight that it offers, it still just works very well as far as its layout. It's able to hold a good amount of stuff, it provides the right amount of organization, and it's a comfortable bag to wear. So if you're able to get one of these and you're looking for something lightweight that you can take with you on a lot of different domestic and international airlines, this is going to be a fantastic option to consider. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the ULA Dragonfly and how it compares to some of the other popular travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank everyone again that shouted this bag out to me in the comments and that recommended it to me as an option. I'm happy that I was finally able to bring it onto the channel. I really take those suggestions to heart, so keep them coming. I've gotten some of my favorite videos from those suggestions, so I'll be excited to see what else y'all have for me next. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.